I'm gonna make a huge point, and this is probably gonna send me viral again. So, lacking emotional control is the exact reason why, in addition to why men don't approach anymore, they don't, all this other stuff. Lacking emotional control is what makes women untrustworthy to men. Men, in addition to all the other things,
right,
don't want to open up to us.
Right.
And you can ask the man sitting right next to you right now, what will be the number one reason that you don't get vulnerable with women? And what are they going to say?
Exposing your business, bringing stuff back from
there. You go. We're going to throw it right back in your face. And before I was told this before, like, oh, this is why guys, my brother and I had this debate. And I was like, that's not true. I've never thrown something back and something about. But he was like, you're thinking about you. We're saying women in general. And we made a lot of things. So we started asking the guys in the house, we asked Elisa was there, we asked other people. And they were all like, oh, because we're not going to throw it back in your face.
Yeah.
100%. Men feel like, correct me if I'm wrong. If you're a man and you're on here, like.
Even if it's a mistake.
But that's the thing.
Yeah.
We are so emotionally unhinged that we are willing to jeopardize our integrity just to be right or to prove a point.
Or to deflect.
Or to win an argument, like whatever it is. And it's like, I feel like that comes down to character at the end of the day. Being emotionally controlled, I should say lack of emotional control, it affects your judgment and your ability to make sound decisions. This is why a lot of women, they're very quick to, well, I should say, this is why a lot of men aren't so quick to be reactive.
Right.
When you're reactive to everything, nobody is trusting you with any information. You are untrustworthy. No one's trusting you with information. The moment you get mad, oh, well, I didn't mean to. And that's the thing. See, y'all are so different out there. For me, you got one time to not mean to. You're out of here.
You just said
You're
something.
You're kicking rocks.
You just said something. And I'm addressing this to women. The woman that a guy would most likely take to that altar is a woman that he believes he can give that information and keep.
Yeah, and she won't let it slip.
That's one of the big factors besides all of the other things during the relationship that a guy will pay attention to. And it will be one of his red flags where I will either just be with this girl for however long we're living together, blah, 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 nothing's happening, versus, okay, I believe I could take you to the altar or to the courthouse or whatever.
Absolutely.
It's a big factor.
And I think another huge misconception. Oh, come on.
Unplug it.
I'm about to stuff like it. Another huge misconception that women have, right? We believe we're so much more. Oh yeah, women are so emotionally. We're more emotionally intelligent. We're more emotionally mature or whatever because we express our emotions. But how many women? Emotional intelligence and emotional control speaks to your ability to express your emotions in a healthy way. And a lot of y'all don't know how to do that. No. You've never learned, and quite frankly, you've never had to learn.
Right.
Because the men that you deal with, they rather let you be.
Yeah.
They rather shut up and just sit in a corner and let you nag on or whatever instead of telling you what's what, because they don't want to risk losing you. Because what comes with all that emotional spiraling? Drama. Drama. A lot of men, they don't want to have to deal with that. So it's just like, I ain't even gonna say, okay, you're right.
Like, okay.
You're right. Yeah, all right. Yeah, whatever. Some of y'all are so emotionally unhinged. And I think it's so funny. You're just like, oh, at the end of the day, he knows who he's going to come home to. He not going nowhere. Girl, what's the point of... What's the point of coming home if you got to spend an extra 25 minutes in the driveway?
And she's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Single girlies in their late 20s, early 30s. Where are we finding men?
Unfortunately, they are working overtime instead of going out and dating because they feel they will never be attractive enough or wealthy enough for a girl ever again. They would rather check their weather app than chat with another person on Hinge. If they're not at work, they're usually at home, the gym, playing video games with friends, or fighting for democracy. You're welcome.
Why men never approach women anymore?
I think we live in a society where men are torn down for small things, and they're scared to shoot their shot, and it's sad to see. they oftentimes bog themselves down before they even get a chance, you know? In this society, looks come first and heart comes second. It's only gonna get worse unless a change is made. Until people start making things online for men to really like regain that confidence back.
What can girls do these days to make guys approach them more?
Smile more and really think about the things that you're saying to these guys to make them feel that way. Don't say things like, you're too short, because that really like does things to guys' ego. It's harmful.
You ever seen a girl reject a guy and scarred him?
I sadly have. At bars and stuff, you know, people like just say ew and turn around, and you can like look at the guy in the eyes and they look really sad after, and just like overall it's a bad time.
Men don't go after women anymore nowadays, and part of the reason is that it's just become so hard because we women have become so demanding. Not that long ago, a marriage was seen as an economical agreement, and the husband was expected to provide for his family and to protect his family. But in those days, we women were still financially dependent on men. But now that we make our own money, we don't just want a husband to be a provider or to protect us, but we want a husband who can really understand us, who can feel us emotionally, and who can help in the household, and wait a minute, who can also be a very good father to our kids. But it's not just because we're financially independent that we have these expectations. It's also that society, the way it's set up, has changed completely. We used to live in a society in which we had a whole support system around us. We would have barbecues with the neighbor on the corner every Sunday. We would drink coffees with our neighbor every morning, and we would discuss our problems. But nowadays, because we also work, we live way more isolated, and the time we have off, we spend more and more with this one person who's our husband. And what that looks like in reality is that we sit on the sofa at night and we watch TV together. We look at rom-coms in which the man goes through hell and back to win a woman's heart. So besides the fact that practically seen we expect more from our men, our brains are also fed with all these fantasies about how relationships should and could be. And men have stopped to go after women because they freak out with the thought that they have to deliver all these things that women expect nowadays.
Oh man.
Have found that I think men are more likely to have bizarrely unrealistic expectations. I have so many girlfriends who are highly accomplished, highly educated, great people, and just wonderful women, and the dating pool is absolutely brutal for them.
What are these men looking for?
It is entirely unclear to me that it's like, why are there men not jumping to want to date them? So,
well, Alicia, those are not bizarre and unrealistic expectations, because reality is that ultimately men want to build a family, okay? And most men don't want to be with an accomplished and educated woman because those women are entitled, demanding, and a pain to deal with. Even different studies would tell you that that's the case. So most of your accomplished and educated friends are very likely to end up with a cat instead of a family, just like Whoopi.
One of the worst mistakes I ever made was thinking I found this man and don't nobody else want him but me. Baby, if you ever find yourself thinking that, I promise you're wrong. You think because he's not super fine and he's not like super rich, and you could tell like he kind of got bullied in high school a little bit, like he not one of them. He's not him for real. He's not him. But you like him and you see something special in him and you want him and you be thinking, oh, I'm safe. Don't nobody else want him. You're wrong. You're dead wrong. You are not the only one that saw that man's potential, baby. It's other people out here that saw it too, and they want him just as much as you do. Don't get too comfortable thinking you done stumbled across some sort of hidden gem, some sort of hidden diamond in the rough, and nobody else found it yet, and you the first one. Nope. No. Because you start listening to him talk, and you start opening up and sharing dating stories, and you like, hold on, it was other people here before me? Like, somebody else wanted this for real? You go through that man's phone and see how many girls he's texting. I'd be like, I didn't even know you knew this many women for real. I did not know they was on you like this. You're wrong. Do not be fooled, baby. You are not the only one that found that diamond. A couple of other girls done found it first, and they still trying to get it out, okay? I'm trying to let you know.
This is where I feel frustrated, is where I just think that it just doesn't make sense to me how women are not being asked out on dates. Like, there are so many beautiful women, like, come on, like, just shoot your shot. But a lot of the things that the guys were telling me, and these were guys from the ages of like 19 to 40 was like, no, we don't want to intimidate a woman. If we see them on the street, like we'll cross the road so that they feel safe.
I do that.
No, we don't want to come across creepy. So I do see that obviously culture has really like removed this from the man, this kind of like the art of the chase. And then that, I think, in effect is making more men passive.
A lot of this has to do with, of course, feminism, but the hashtag #MeToo movement. The level of awareness on sexual harassment, which is a good thing. The awareness needed to be there.
Yeah.
But there has been such a level of overcorrection, so much to the point that even a man just approaching you on the street is harassment. And the issue what a lot of men see is you can have two guys do the exact same approach. One's harassing her and one is received well. And the only difference is that she sees one as being attractive.
Yeah, no, I understand that, but that's not really fair.
It's not fair. But for a lot of good men, they're like, okay, well, the only way I'm going to know if you find me attractive is if I approach you. But if I get it wrong and you don't, that's a harassment case. So for a lot of men, it's like, it's not worth the risk.
Do you know what I observe with this, men not approaching women thing? My observation of it is, I think so many women are shoot themselves in the foot. That's the problem. And I think sometimes women say some certain things that they don't mean. And a lot of men take that shit serious. I've seen a woman tell me something and do the opposite of what they're saying. So many women will tell you, I don't want kids, I don't want family. I'm strong and independent, and boom, she wants family and she wants kids. This thing happen over and over and over again, and we'll see this thing so many times. Majority of women just shoot themselves in the foot, because this new generation man, this man do not care one bit. The whole school men are still like, okay, she's just, they just let it go. Whatever she say, just like, okay, fuck it. But this new man, this new generation, once you say something, they take it literally serious, man. They don't joke. Oh, you prefer a B? You prefer a bad? You don't like man? Cool. Oh, you prefer that? You don't want us? Cool. You don't want us to approach? Cool. We're creepy at the gym? Cool. Okay, we'll stop talking. Like this new generation man, like you gotta understand, each generation of men are different. This new generation of men are usually more into video gaming. They are more into all this stuff. So women is not their priorities anyway. This dude would rather go gaming tournaments, or rather play with your friends. They would rather chill, especially video game. So, and also you got to understand, social media's ruined everything for everybody. So, most women just screaming at the top of your tongue, oh, yeah, we don't need men, we don't need men. Eventually, this man will start listening to you, and they'll just start avoiding you, like in total. And most women lack emotional maturity, like that other girl said it the first time, like, they just say stupid shit. And most times they don't even mean what they're saying. They just say dumb shit. That's why I usually tell most men, you don't take a lot of things women say seriously. Watch the action is what you should watch for, not the words. You're gonna realize real soon that the action and the words, they don't match. What she's telling you and what she's doing are totally different. Then it's up to you. Do you want to stay in a situation like that, or you want to move on? And this old feminist thing has fucked a lot of women up. They don't know yet, but they're gonna know later. It's fucked a lot of women up. And I understand, you want to be equal, you want to 50-50, good. Like, I don't think any man is arguing that shit at this point. That's what you want, okay. But the problem is, when that shit comes and men are avoiding you and they're treating you like a man and they're not seeing you as a woman anymore. Okay, it's 50-50, we're equal now. I don't want to stress you, I don't want to bother you, I don't want to look like a creep, and women are still complaining. And I understand these are not every women. Like, there's some women that, they still want to go back to that chivalry days and shit. But it's just the wrong era. Like there are so many men that still want to do the chivalry thing, but we're just in the sexual era now. Everything is sex, 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 and sex. Everything is sexualized now. It's not like sex is easy to come by now. I remember when I was 20 years old, like I always see sex in the magazine. Or sometimes even if you want to watch porn, you gotta go buy VHS or something. But now it's everywhere. Like this man don't have to approach you no more. They can just pay prostitutes. And it's not that expensive either, depending on where you live. You can go to Dominican Republic and get a prostitute for like $20. Even less than that. If you live in the state, maybe 300. If you live in Europe, maybe 200. You get you in 2-3 hours of service, and that's it. So this man are not going to approach you anymore. If he's rich enough, he's just going to buy prostitutes. And if he's not rich enough, he's just going to watch porn. And when he has the money, he start buying prostitutes or travel to a place where he's just going to fuck them for $20. So you guys saying you don't need a man, you're just shooting yourself in the foot. Because at the end of the day, you got a biological clock. He don't have it. My grandpa still had a baby at 82. Eventually, money, and if you keep saying you don't need men because it's short, or you don't have money, or you don't have this, or you don't have that, these men are not going to approach you because they know you want the money. They know that's what you want, or he's not tall enough for you, or he's not pretty enough for you. He's not going to approach you. He's going to leave you alone because he already knows your standard. That's what you want. Okay, keep looking for it. Keep looking. If you're going to find it, congratulations, but keep looking. Men are approaching women anymore. I'm not surprised. Look at when this gym thing was going on at a time where they just put camera and call a random dude a creep. You just call him a creep, a random dude that don't even know what's going on. He's just working out. And boom, he's trending all over TikTok for no reason. And y'all surprised they don't approach no more. I don't expect y'all to be surprised at all. But anyway, let me know what y'all think about it in the comment section. Please like and subscribe. I'm out of here.